We'll be starting in just a moment. Thank you. Hello, good evening, everyone. At this time, I would like to call the People, Parks, and Public Works Committee to order and ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Monroe.
Here.
Councilmember Gruber.
Here.
Councilmember Patterson.
Here.
Vice President Harris.
Here.
President Melendez.
Here.
Thank you.
I would like the record to also show that we are joined by Council Members Lupien, Martin, Leslie Smith, and Smith. There is one presentation on the agenda this month. Melissa Wendeland, Director of Strategic Partnership, and Jeff Sweeney, Vice President of Community Services at Common Ground Health, will provide an update on the work Council authorized in August related to the Age-Friendly City Plan. The presentation will take place immediately following this meeting. We now proceed to the legislation. Introductory number 19, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $705,000 bonds of said city to finance the Port Terminal Building Rooftop Unit Replacement Project. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns?
Second.
Now we vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 20, authorizing an amendatory agreement for the Port Terminal Rooftop Unit Replacement Project. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Move it.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Introductory number 21, authorizing an agreement related to the Rochester Community Sports Complex Stadium Suites Water Infiltration Project. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Second.
Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 22, authorizing an agreement related to the Emergency Communications Department generator replacement. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Move it.
Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 23, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $317,000 bonds of said city to finance the cost of the Maplewood Branch Library Expansion Project. I would like to note that there is one disclosure for this item. Councilmember Gruber is appointed to the Rochester Public Library as a representative of council. He just has to disclose and can participate in the deliberations and vote. Are there any questions or comments?
Question.
Vice President Harris, followed by Councilmember Patterson.
Thank you. Chair Monroe, can we ask the administration to give us a brief overview of this? Because there's a few questions I had. I figured if you do an overview, it would answer those questions.
So we can supply overview on the renovation of the project.
Well, there's a couple questions. I'll start with that.
Okay.
How much of parking will be created? Is there ADA compliance? And then what is the expected patron usage for? And this can be put in writing if you need to. Patron usage for the anticipated growth of the library with these changes.
Yes, we could definitely supply all that information in writing to you. Yes.
Thank you.
Councilmember Patterson.
Thank you. So you're asking for an additional $317,000. This sounds like a punch list. Is that about right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And just unforeseen conditions, additional asbestos removal, and some modifications to the insulation of the building.
Okay. So I'm requesting that you give us that list so we know what we're voting to fund. I mean, it makes sense. It's a project. It's old building. You're going to find stuff. I'm sure this is all in contingency, or maybe or that's the other question. Is this included in the contingency? Doesn't sound like it is.
This is additional funding to
Right.
add to the contingency.
Okay, outside
Yes.
of contingency. So if we can get that list of the additional items that you're going to be paying for, that would be great. It's not unusual for there to be a punch list, for you to find stuff. Once you open up the wall, God knows what's in there. So nothing crazy here, but it'd be nice if we need that list.
Yes, we can supply that to you.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing what the actual usage of the building is. For Vice President Harris, the Maplewood Library is a really heavily used one, which is pretty exciting, well used by the neighborhood. And there's a great collection of other language books for the different refugee and immigrant families who have been making the Maplewood their home. Councilmember Gruber.
Thank you. I had the opportunity to tour the shell of the space just before the holiday season. I'm sure that our former colleague BJ Scanlon, who's running the branch libraries now, would be happy to organize a tour for council at some point. But it looks great. Things are coming along really well. I just want to ask the city engineer: this is above and beyond contingency? Is the expectation that this 317 gets us all the way to the finish line?
Yes, this does get us to the finish line.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, President Melendez.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. One of the questions I have, and this is not very much specific to this project, but and maybe probably directed to the Deputy Mayor overall as we continue to fund projects in the city of Rochester. One of the things that we are experiencing in other spaces in the last year is an astronomical increase in the cost of materials and other things. So for the council's benefit, as we continue along and as we get projects before us, I think it would be helpful if there's some sense to educate the council on what the cost differential is on a project today versus a project just 1 year ago, as we consider new projects.
Yep, definitely happy to give a sense of that in general, and then as we go through and bring specific projects before you throughout the year, to provide it with regard to those projects.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion and a second?
Move it.
Second.
Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 24, authorizing appropriations and agreements for the Bull's Head Revitalization Project. Any questions?
Questions?
Okay, so I see Councilmember Gruber, followed by Martin, followed by Patterson.
Thanks. So it was a few months ago that we approved all the different changes to streets and directional and all that. So I assume this is the funding that executes that vision. Am I seeing that correctly?
That's correct. This is for going to construction.
So, is obviously, the Bull's Head project has been going on for quite some time and has cost a lot of money. We're getting closer and closer and closer to the finish line. So I'll just ask a similar question here. Is the expectation that this money gets us to a place where the streets are exactly as we expect the final product to be, and that the everything except for that one parcel we talked about a few months ago is shovel ready? Are there other major construction costs beyond what's here?
I think we should supply a response in writing so that we can talk specifically about the parcels versus the street grid itself.
Yeah, I think what would be helpful. I know it was NBD and not DES who provided that presentation. What was that, 2 months ago, Deputy Mayor? It'd be really nice to have some kind of a crosswalk from what we talked about there to what is funded here. Obviously, I'm supportive of moving this forward. I'm by no means suggesting otherwise. It's just nice to know with projects as big and complicated as this, if we should be expecting any significant more requests for funding moving forward.
Yep. Happy to provide that.
Thanks.
Yeah, so on page 60 of the PPW packet, you talk about raised bike lanes and buffered bike lanes. Can you clarify what you mean by buffered bike lanes and what the buffer will be?
A buffered bike lane is at the street level. So it has an additional stripe that sort of creates a striped buffered area where I apologize, I can't remember. The protected bike lanes are the installation of bicycle lanes that require that are at a different elevation or have barriers next to them. And we have a variety of applications going on here, so we could certainly supply something more specific to this project as to the different features that we're incorporating.
Sounds good. And so there was a lot of community outreach you all did in shaping this, so thank you for that. And this can be answered in writing. Can you talk a bit about how some of the community feedback we see here was incorporated, maybe pointing to a specific example of something someone from the community said and how you included that? Thank you.
Councilmember Patterson.
Corporation Council, get ready. Okay, so this is a bear of a piece of legislation. A whole lot of stuff going on here. A lot of moving parts. Short course, 17 million, almost $18 million, right? Okay. A chunk of this money is federal money. A chunk of this money is state money. Are those dollars, can we apply our MWBE goals to those dollars, the state dollars and the federal dollars?
We'll get you a response in writing, but different sources of funds have different requirements.
But usually the answer I get is, no, Councilman, we can't apply our standards.
Well, yes, the state has different MWBE goals, and so do the feds, so they're different, but different tranches of funding have different rules.
So you will get us, so my request then is that you get us the MWBE goals for the federal portion of this project, and you get us the MWBE goals for the state-funded portion of this project.
We'll include DBE goals as well, disadvantaged business.
So you get us both of those. Okay.
Yep.
So that leaves us with almost $4 million of city dollars. And so my question is, how come I don't see the MWBE goals expressed anywhere in this document for that $4 million? Take your time.
We can supply a response in writing on that. There are certain rules about what we can and cannot do with MWBE related on the funding that comes in from other agencies. So I just want to make sure that we're getting you accurate information on that.
I'm glad you said that, because as I look at the sheet that you gave us, so if we're looking at this, let's see, that is going to be the third page. So if we're looking at the third page, sources of funding, you guys lay that out real nice. I mean, it's beautiful. It shows me where the federal dollars are. It shows me where the state dollars are. And as I tick those off, I come down to bonds and water bonds and pure water reimbursement and cash capital. And that's all our money, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So if that's City of Rochester money, that's City of Rochester goals, right?
Well, as noted, depending on the other funding agencies, they have some rules around what we can do with funding that's associated with the same project.
Okay, so Corporation Counsel?
Yeah, we'll get back to you in writing. Like I said, I do direct you to the second page of the transmittal.
Okay.
After the numbered list, there's a paragraph that does explain that this is a federal aid project, and that as a result of that, DBE goals were reduced to 0. But we'll get you something more specific about what the implications of that are for the city's own money,
Okay.
and whether we can, in a federal project like this, apply our local goals or not. We'll get that to you in writing.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 25. A bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $1,375,000 bonds of said city to finance the Bull's Head Revitalization Project. Any questions or comments?
Move it.
Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Introductory number 26, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $475,000 bonds of said city to finance water service improvements associated with the Bull's Head Revitalization Project. Do I have any questions or comments?
Move it.
Second.
Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 27, a resolution authorizing the implementation and funding in the first instance 100% of the federal aid and state Marshall program aid eligible costs of the Bull's Head Transportation Federal Aid Project and appropriating funds therefore. Any questions?
Move it.
Second.
We can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 28, authorizing appropriations and agreements related to the 2024 milling and resurfacing project. Any questions or comments?
Move it.
Second.
Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 29, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $550,000 bonds of said city to finance the annual City Bridges Repair Program fiscal year 2026. Any questions or comments?
Move it.
I have a question.
Yeah, Councilmember Lupien, please.
This lists Broad Street Bridge as one of the bridges. We put a couple $1 million into that not that long ago, so I'm wondering what we're doing on that bridge, and will this impact the subway underneath?
The repairs are for the tunnel in general.
Mm-hmm.
So the bridge project that we did a few years ago was more for the deck on top. It
Okay.
didn't address all of the issues inside the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So as the state inspects the tunnels over the years, we get notifications for different things that we need to address. So that's a part of that maintenance activity.
Okay, so it's just maintenance. We're not doing anything structurally under there. Okay,
That's correct.
thank you.
Anyone else with questions? Seeing none, I'll take a
Move it.
motion. Now we can vote on the item. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Introductory number 30, amending the 2025-26 budget, appropriating funds, and authorizing an agreement relating to the Rochester Public Market Management Structure Project. Any questions or comments?
Move it.
Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 31, authorizing a grant agreement with New York State Council on the Arts. Do I have any questions or comments?
Move it.
Second.
Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 32, authorizing an amendatory agreement with Breathe Deep, Inc. Any questions or comments?
Move it.
Second.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Introductory number 33, amending ordinance number 2025-324 to add the Rock City Skate Park Phase 3 project to the list of regional revitalization partnership projects. Have any questions or comments? Councilmember Gruber?
Is this just this is just approval to apply for the grant?
Yes.
Is there a sense from, I know RRP is like an interesting collaboration of public and private funding sources. Is there a sense that did they invite us to apply for this particular project?
Yes, they did.
Wonderful news. Thank you.
Can I have a motion and a second?
Move it.
Second.
We can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. The motion carries. So this ends our legislation for the People, Parks, and Public Works Committee. And we are going to now have a presentation. And this presentation is an update on the work that this body authorized in August related to the Age-Friendly City Plan. Melissa and Jeff, welcome once again. And I ask that you approach the podium and speak clearly into the microphone for our streaming audience on our City Council YouTube page. And we'll let people clear out, and then I would invite you to begin. Okay, yeah, I think we're ready to begin if you are.
How about now? Is that better?
Yep.
Terrific, thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you for your time. We appreciate the opportunity to update you on some very exciting work that supports older adults in our community. I'm Melissa Wendland. I'm the Director of Strategic Initiatives at Common Ground Health, and I am currently leading the Aging Alliance work. I'm joined in partnership with Jeff Sweeney, who is the Vice President of Community Services at Episcopal Senior Life. Jeff is a city resident, and he is joining me not only as a content subject matter expert, as a city resident, But also, we have been meeting with all municipalities in the county to talk about age-friendly, livable communities. I just want to remind this group that this work started because of you in partnership with the county to become an AARP designated age-friendly, livable community, which we are. We are recognized across the country as working to support older adults in our community. Why is this important? I think you have a fact sheet in front of you, and that fact sheet talks about, I'm trying to forward this. Let's see if that works. There we go. What's important to us is in terms of priorities. We have an aging population. We are one of the oldest counties and communities across the state. We're going to continue to see that right now 25 to 30% of our residents in municipalities are aged 60 and older. And the next 50 years, we're going to see an increase of upwards of 35%. What's also really important is our older adults in the Rochester of City. We have 1 in 5 that are living in poverty. So community services and programs that Jeff leads at Episcopal Senior Life is essential to supporting our community members. We also know that older adults have families that move away. And so the question is, how are we supporting our older community members in terms of the supports that they need as they age when they can't rely on community members? We are focused on 3 things, and I want to highlight those 3 things that you've been supporting us to successfully share with other partners across the country. Livable community initiatives, something that's good for everyone, families, young children, as well as older adults. Reframing aging, how we're talking about our older adults, how we're thinking about supporting our older adults, and addressing poverty. You'll see a QR code. This is the website to the Aging Alliance, so you can see some of the work that we've done and some of our reports that we've published. Age Friendly 2.0 is what's going on right now, working with municipalities. We conducted a questionnaire this summer. 22% of City of Rochester residents shared that information that was important to them as we talked about as they age, what they wanted to prioritize. I'm going to go over that briefly. We are conducting focus groups in the city between now and June. We will be talking with a variety of older adults, specifically looking at deaf elders, looking at the Latino community, as well as the Black community and caregivers. And fundamentally, we are working to continue to support the city as they carry out Rock Vision 2034, ultimately including the consideration of older adults in everything we do as we make decisions. So thank you for your partnership and thank you for your support. You have a demographic sheet in front of you about the City of Rochester. This was conducted in partnership with Nazareth University students. They help conduct the focus groups. They help us assimilate the data and information that we see from those focus groups from our daily census, and ultimately they have provided these sheets for all of the municipalities that we have been presenting to. Out of the 20 municipalities between June and now we've spoken with 16. That's for your reference, but that's our guidepost. The data doesn't lie. It's the numbers that tell us what we need to address and what we need to prioritize and focus on. I'm going to show you this livability index. This is an AARP livability index. There's a QR code. You can go to it. You can see in the City of Rochester what the index includes. It looks at housing, transportation, social cohesion, social isolation, addressing some of the basic needs of older adults, such as food, housing, access to warm clothes. We have dropped 2 points as of January 1. This is updated. It was 59 last year. The reason for that is access to health care. The worker shortage is something that is making it difficult for all to access, all families. This is a priority that we are looking at, not only at Common Ground, but as partners in terms of how are we supporting older adults receiving the care that they need. We know that care in the community is essential. We also know that care for older adults is changing. We need to support the continuum of care from those in their communities, those that prefer to stay in their houses, all the way up until the end of life. You can access through the QR code to see more of the details that's included in this. We're also looking at the unintended consequences of the biases of ageism. This is something we are working with employers to recognize that child care is something that we have recently recognized, particularly since pandemic, that we are conducting work differently, and we're recognizing with older adults and caregivers, this is something we need to continue to pay attention to for families that are caring for older adults. Particularly as we look at the workforce shortage, this is essential that we work with employers to take on new policies and considerations about how they are going to support working families that not only are taking care of young children, but are also taking care of older adults. AARP just recently updated their opportunity for policy improvements with employers, and this is something that we're supporting here locally. If you look at the City of Rochester questionnaire compared to Monroe County, you'll be happy to see that most of the city residents fared favorably compared to the over results of the county. When we talk about those that would like to live in place, stay in their own homes, stay in their own community, almost 75% they want to stay here. They are the fabric of the community. They are the volunteers of the community. They are the community partners that are taxpayers. They are the ones that understand how our community has continued to support each other, and they are a vital voice in our community, which is why we like to conduct those focus groups to hear from them. 55% want to stay in their home compared to 42% across the county. 31% live alone. We expect that this is going to increase upwards of 10 to 15% in the next 10 years. 83% think that they are in relatively good physical health. They like walkability. They like the opportunity to access transportation and community services. There is a very, very fundamental opportunity with a space for older adults to convene, to come together, to share meals, and to have social connectedness. This is one of the key priorities. Also, we're looking at primary care. Right now, we know that about 19% of them feel as though they've got adequate access to primary care. That's a fifth of what we need to be supporting our older adults. So again, healthcare is very consistent with what we're hearing from the older adults and what we're seeing from the livability index. So here's my call to you. I would love to hear from you and members of staff about opportunities, how we can partner between now and June. We'd love to hear about areas where you think we can focus on hearing specific stories and needs of members of our community. We would also love to have some of you sitting at our table at the Aging Alliance to hear about what we're talking about, how we're working together to collaborate and support our older adults. Fundamentally, we are working to support housing for those most in need that have complex physical, emotional challenges that may not otherwise have a place to go. Fundamentally, we want to partner with those that are supporting healthy food, healthy meals, and ultimately supporting their safety and their well-being. And I would like to also suggest that it is through this partnership that this work has continued for the last 7 years, and we see it continuing as our older adults are aging. It is that group of folks that has made a significant impact in our community and has been mentors and drivers of some of the change we've seen in our community. If you look at this last slide, our work goes beyond the Alliance in terms of the New York State Master Plan for Aging. We sit at that table. We inform them about the needs of older adults. We participate across the state with rural communities as well as cities like ours. We have been part of a discussion developing age-inclusive language for all audiences with AARP, We were recently recognized on a webinar with folks of over 80 people recognizing the plan that we've put in place here in the city of Rochester. We've had an open house for older adults in school districts to be able to ask them if they have an interest in supporting schools, and ultimately had an open house where we advertised for 3 weeks. 30 older adults attended the open house, 10 were hired. They are mentoring students, they are mentoring staff, they are volunteering, and they are receiving paid jobs. We would like to continue to expand that pilot program. We were recently featured on Seniors Rock Radio Show, again, hearing from our older adults in the city what's important to them and opportunities for them to be able to give us feedback. And I'm excited that the age-friendly gerontology program that is looking at professionals that are getting into gerontology, we are actually talking with them and presenting with them in partnership with their school curriculum to see what it's like to actually work with older adults, serve older adults. I'm excited that there's this great partnership with Nazareth Community as well as St. John's Senior Living. And finally, we are very actively involved in legislative advocacy. The Greater Rochester Area Partnership and Education will be holding a breakfast in February. We are talking about ageism. We are talking about older adults. We are talking about the work that we are doing to expand and spread the work so that we can continue to serve our older adults. My ask to you, please partner with us. Let us know where you'd like us to conduct a focus group in the city. Let us know how you can come and sit at our tables, participate in our initiatives, and continue to be our partner as we move forward in supporting older adults. Thank you very much. Are there questions?
President Melendez, followed by Councilmember Martin.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I want to thank you for sharing this presentation with us. We're privileged to be a small part of supporting the work that you've done so far, but also I would offer that I'm certainly willing to, there's several senior housing facilities in the city that I'm already connected to for different events, activities, and meetings, and would like to follow up on that piece to see if there's opportunities for us to collaborate there. I did want to say, though, looking at the survey data, that I was not necessarily shocked, because I know that when you're living in a city, you're more connected to your neighbors, generally speaking. But the data was really supportive of my notion that I think people in the city are generally more connected and have opportunities to connect because of the way our grid is, the way services are operating in the city of Rochester. So it was helpful to see that validated. But the one that stood out to me is, how would you rate your community as a place for people to live as they age? 74% in the city versus 54% said good to very good in the suburbs. That to me, I think, is a narrative that is counter to what we may see or hear in the media. And to have this report start to elevate voices of people in the city that actually many people age in place in our city, value our city, part of our city, and it's important to get counter narratives out there. So I thank you for taking the opportunity to share this with us, and I look forward to following up.
Thank you. I appreciate your participation, and we'll share with you that's the narrative we're trying to change. There is a culture in this community, and that is something that we want to celebrate. Thank you.
Councilmember Martin.
Echoing the president's comments, thank you so much for the work you do, and I will definitely be following up to see how we can partner. I do have a question on the City of Rochester questionnaire results. How many people filled out that questionnaire, and how did they receive the questionnaire?
Oh, great question. Thank you for asking. We were very mindful about this. We know that mixed mediums are the most essential way to get to our community. So it was through a combination of literally handing them paper surveys, sitting with them, helping them to interpret questions, fill it out. It was available online. It was available through a QR phone, and also through the, there was a day at the park where we had cards and people helping folks to fill out surveys. And I think that's one of the biggest events that helps support those answers. Thanks for asking that.
How many people would you say fill the questionnaire out?
From the city, it looks like about 1,200.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I see Councilmember Gruber and then Vice President Lachey Harris.
Thanks for the presentation. Just to, I know it's not going to be a simple question, but if there was one thing that the city could do to make our community more livable, if we could increase our score in any one particular way, what would you recommend? Or what would you do with a magic wand, however you want to frame it?
If I had the magic wand, and Jeff, I want you to join me in this, but I think we would both say affordable housing. That is the number one concern. And I will share with you, I sit on the RMAPI committee. I have continued to promote that when we are looking age-friendly, livable communities, it serves all families, intergenerational families. We have elders that are taking care of our young children. The cost and the challenge with our housing stock is a huge concern. The other thing is we know that the level of poverty in the city, it's going to continue to be our nightmare.
Just to follow up about that, undoubtedly affordable housing is one of the huge challenges that we face as a community. When it comes to older adults specifically, some things we hear all the time is about wanting particular types of housing.
Yeah.
Housing, ranch housing or houses that are particularly accessible for older adults. Are there particular recommendations from AARP or for livable cities that you can share with us afterwards?
Absolutely, and thank you for asking that. We actually conducted a training in March for all of the municipalities at MCC about this very specific topic. The opportunity to have a single-step entrance, the opportunity to have bars and guardrails. I would love to share that with you.
And I presume of those 60 municipalities, the city of Rochester was represented at the Neighborhood and Business Development Department?
Very well, yes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Harris.
Thank you, Chair Monroe. I too echo the remarks of my colleagues. I also want to extend invitation to you to come to our upcoming Rock Estate Planning Summit. That's March 7th. We'd love to partner with you to be a part of that project and to do stuff in the future. So I'll extend that. I'll circle back to extend that to you.
Thank you. We'd be delighted to participate.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I would like to thank you for the presentation. Obviously, finding a way to best keep the older generation here and also make sure that people are in living situations where they are still part of the community. I think one of the sadder things is when, with the passage of time and maybe the size of houses and family moving away, that you get people who are essentially living a shut-in life.
Absolutely.
And
social
yes,
isolation is
and
important.
there's so much more to be shared by people through their lived experiences. So, and obviously we all know that people do better when they are around other people and part of a community. So
Absolutely.
I look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, before we are concluding the business of this committee, but we have also been requested by Melissa and Jeff if we would all take a picture with them. So is this something we should come down as a crowd then, as a group?
Good evening. Happy New Year, everyone. At this time, I will call the Public Safety Committee to order, and I ask the clerk to call the roll.
Vice President Harris.
Here.
Councilmember Gruber.
Here.
Councilmember Leslie Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Lupian.
Here.
Councilmember Martin.
Here.
Councilmember Monroe.
Here.
Councilmember Patterson.
Here.
Councilmember Smith.
Here.
President Melendez.
Here.
Thank you.
Introduction number 34, authorizing an agreement for the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services FY 2023 Bomb Squad Initiative Grant. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns? Councilmember Patterson.
Yes. Why is this the fiscal year 2023? Is this a typo, or is there some delay in the funding? What's going on?
The state apparently is behind.
Okay, that's the answer.
Any additional questions? I need a motion in a second.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Introductory number 35, authorizing an agreement for New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services FY 2023 Explosive Detection K-9 Initiative Grant. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Councilmember Lupian.
Will there be any other use for this dog other than explosive detection?
No, dogs are only trained in one field. So a narcotics dog is a narcotics dog, a tracking dog is a tracking dog, a bomb dog is a bomb dog.
Thanks.
Any additional questions? I need a motion in a second.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Introductory number 36, authorizing the agreement for New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services FY 2023 Targeted Tactical Team Program Grant. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
I have a question.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes, I wanted to know what specific criteria and threat assessments are required before deployment of a SWAT team or using tactical equipment in a residential setting.
I can get that back to you in writing.
Okay. I have another question. How does the department track, review, and publicly report the frequency, location, and outcomes of SWAT deployment, including impact on residents who are not suspects?
I will get that back to you in writing as well.
Okay, and the last question I have is what safeguards, training, and de-escalation requirements are in place to ensure tactical equipment is used only when absolutely necessary and does not disproportionately harm residents or specific neighborhoods?
Also, I will get it back to you in writing.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions? Councilmember Lupian.
Can we get a breakdown of what this grant will be used on?
Certainly.
And the breakdown, not just what it will be used on, but also how much goes to what. Thank you.
Any additional questions? I need a motion in a second.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
No.
Roll call.
Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Gruber.
Yes.
Councilmember Leslie Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Lupian.
No.
Councilmember Martin.
No, still waiting for the answers to the questions.
Councilmember Monroe.
Yes.
Councilmember Patterson.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith.
I'd like to wait for the questions to come back for voting. So I have to say no. I guess it will be. Sorry.
Vice President Harris.
Yes.
President Melendez.
Yes.
Thank you.
The motion carries. Wait. Yes. Introducing number 37, authorizing an agreement for the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services FY 2024 Bomb Squad Initiative Grant. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Move it.
Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have introductory number 38, but given that the city did not timely receive this grant funding, they didn't get the grant funding, so I will be holding this at the request of the administration. If you'd like to add something to that, Chief, any additional comments? Okay. Then we'll be holding that. Is there any additional questions on this item?
Pardon me, Vice President, I couldn't quite hear why we're holding it.
We did not receive the funding, so it's It's being held. Administration asks that we hold it.
Thank
Is there
you.
any questions about the funding?
Yeah, do we have an idea of why we didn't get it?
Councilmember Lupian, to the administration, why did we not get the grant funding?
I don't know, but I'll get it back to you in writing.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Councilmember Gruber.
Chief, just for clarity, did we get rejected, or we just haven't heard yet?
I believe we were turned down, but again, I'll have to check.
Okay, thanks.
Any additional questions? Councilmember Smith.
Can you tell me if are there any plans to apply for additional grants that are equal to this one since we've been rejected?
If any become available, certainly.
Thank you.
Okay, with that being said, that's being held, and there will be no further business coming before the Public Safety Committee, so the meeting stands adjourned.